Let's talk about Diwali parties. I think it's long overdue that we have an open and honest conversation about how we've turned something sacred into something superficial. Namaste. My name is Pandit Neall, and I'm a Vedic Pandit of over 22 years living here in the United States. And this video isn't meant to criticize or shame anyone, but hopefully it's a call for reflection, for us to have an open discussion about what's happening to our culture and how sometimes, without even realizing it, we've started to lose the essence of what makes our traditions so sacred. The Diwali season has come and gone, and there's been so much beauty, so much joy, so much devotion that's been shared this Diwali. But there's also some things that I'd like to highlight, especially here in the West, that's been posted by influencers and celebrities that go against what Diwali truly stands for. Because when Diwali celebrations start featuring alcohol, meat, and all the things that go directly against the spirit of Dharma, then we've already lost the point. People can live however they choose, that's their right. But when you begin to associate those things with Diwali, a festival that's meant to purify, to uplift, to celebrate light over darkness, you strip it from its sacred meaning. If that's your lifestyle, you've got 364 other days of the year for that. But on Diwali, on any sacred day, don't flaunt it, don't promote it, and don't tie it to something divine. We post the lights, the outfits, the fireworks, but we forget the flame inside. That's what I want to talk about today. The difference between sharing our heritage and selling it, between representation and reduction. Everyone keeps saying representation matters. But lately I've been wondering, representation of what? Because the world only sees our culture through the glitz and the glamour, the flashy festivals, the colors, the outfits, the music, the food, the filters, the noise. Somewhere in the process of sharing, we've started shedding what makes it sacred. Real talk. As a pundit, born and raised in the West, I get both sides. We want to be proud of our roots, but we also want to fit in. We want our friends to see that our heritage is vibrant, relevant, and alive, not too ancient, too outdated, or too religious. But sometimes that balance gets so twisted that Diwali and even our broader culture starts to look unrecognizable. Something beautiful, reverent, and sacred turned into something shallow and performative. I've seen videos of our biggest celebrations where the focus isn't diyas or mantras or the meaning. It's the guest list, the outfits, the bar menu. We post the fireworks, but we forget the flame inside. And look, I get it. When you're part of a minority culture in the West, you're constantly trying to prove that you belong. But belonging should never come at the cost of becoming someone else, especially for those who hold positions of influence, our artists, our actors, our creators. We love them, we cheer for them, and we're proud when they reach global stages. But with that reach comes responsibility. When you choose to highlight Hindu imagery, when you celebrate Diwali publicly, you're not just representing Indian culture, you're touching something sacred, something that has lived and breathed for thousands of years. And that deserves reverence. Because when those symbols are used casually for clicks, for campaigns, for cocktails, for clout, it's not just bad taste, but it's quiet erosion of something holy. The rishis didn't preserve these ideas for fame or attention. They preserved them so that the world would always remember that light and truth are one. Our mantras, our festivals, our dharmic traditions are not decorations. They're sacred technologies of the spirit. And we are the guardians. We are their guardians. So, yes, let's celebrate our artists, our influencers. Let's be proud of every brown face shining on a global platform. But let's also have the courage to say, this part of our culture is sacred. Treat it that way. Because supporting someone doesn't mean agreeing with everything that they do. It means caring enough to hold them accountable also. The Mahavakya of Dharma says it best. Dharmo rakṣati rakṣitaḥ. Dharma protects those who protect Dharma. If we don't stand up for what's sacred, who will? And while Diwali is celebrated by over 1 billion people across India and the world, by people of many backgrounds and faiths, let's not forget it is first and foremost a Hindu and a Dharmic festival. Born of the Vedas, rooted in the story of Sri Ram's return to Ayodhya, a celebration of light over darkness, good over evil, and Dharma over adharma. Here's the thing. No one calls Christmas European or American. No one calls Eid Saudi Arabian. But somehow we're perfectly comfortable calling Diwali simply Indian, as if that makes it safer, more neutral, or more inclusive. But Diwali doesn't need to be made inclusive. It already is, because there is nothing more universal, more relevant, and more applicable to every human being than the victory of good over evil, light over darkness, and righteousness over unrighteousness. That's what Dharma means. Dharma isn't a religion, it's a path, a roadmap towards righteousness, a way of living that uplifts the world. So when we protect Diwali, we're not just protecting a festival, we're protecting a philosophy that belongs to all of humanity. Holy Vedas say, Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, from darkness, lead me to light. And that doesn't end when Diwali ends, because the lamps we light once a year mean nothing if we let them go out the moment the festival is over. The real light is what we protect after the celebration, the respect we show when no one's watching, the conviction we carry even when it's inconvenient. That's what keeps Dharma alive. So as we look back on Diwali this year, let's do more than celebrate. Let's reflect, let's honor, and let's protect what's sacred. Because the world doesn't need us to make our culture cooler. It needs us to keep it conscious. Stay rooted, stay radiant, and may Dharma always protect you because you protected it. Namaste.